Welcome to you all for this Sunday service, this rainy day that Earth needed.
Welcome to all of you also who are watching from home. Facciamo un'affermazione
We affirm
la voce di Dio ci chiama di risvegliarci in Lui. Come ci troverà quando viene?
Essere pronto.
E quando ci chiede di dedicarci più perfettamente a Lui, come ci troverà?
Essere pronto.
The voice of God calls us to awaken in Him. How will He find us?
Awake and ready.
And when He asks us to dedicate ourselves more perfectly to Him, how will He find us?
Awake and ready.
Now let's pray. Heavenly Father, Mother, friend, beloved God, great masters of self-realization, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mohoshaya, Swami Sri Yukteswar Ji, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints and masters of every tradition, we offer this day to you all, and this satsang in which we participate, trying to unite ourselves in our spirit, to bring in our lives and in the lives of everyone else a strong sense of your presence, of the divine in each one of us.
Beloved Masters, we offer you satsang into the flow of your wisdom, your light and joy. We participate fully in this satsang, that we may unite ourselves and ourselves with you in the infinite light in which we are all one.
Om Shanti. Amen. Please be seated.
can guide us and help us toward light to draw nigh. Love is a star, though shining afar. It can guide us and help us toward light to draw nigh.
Now, you are the star. Page 44. let's meditate with our straight back, with an open channel through which all the energy of ourself flows. Strength, devotion, all flows. Inspiration flows upward through the spiritual eye. And with the inhale and with the exhale, we feel this energy that comes in deeper and deeper in our inner deep self. And continue observing our breath, offering ourselves upward. Concentrate your eyes at that point through in between the light eyebrows, our spiritual eye, where it can and may reveal, that star may reveal itself, that always wants to guide us towards the right path, toward the right decisions in every situation in our life. This state of interiorized consciousness and expansion, let's listen to these words on the theme of courage from Affirmations of Self-Healing of Swami Kriyananda. There are 3 kinds of human courage: blind, passive, and dynamic. Blind courage doesn't count the cost until it finds itself faced, horror-stricken, with the bill. Passive courage is the strength of will to adjust to reality, whatever it may be. And dynamic courage is the strength of will not only to accept reality, but to confront it with another reality of one's own making. There is a 4th kind of courage, not human, but divine. Divine courage comes from living in the awareness of God's presence within, and in the realization that He is the sole reality. Live more in Him, for nothing and no one can touch what you really are. Now we affirm together. Repeat, first with a loud voice, and then lower your voice with a strong intention, but going lower, lowering your voice, and at the end in silence. I live protected by God's infinite light. So long as I remain in the heart of it, nothing and no one can harm me. I live protected by God's infinite light. So long as I remain in the heart of it, nothing and no one can harm me. I live protected by God's infinite light. So long as I remain in that heart of it, nothing and no one can harm me. Now whispering, I live protected by God's infinite light. So long as I remain in the heart of it, nothing and no one can harm me. And now looking through the spiritual eye, and now in silence just repeat, I live protected by God's infinite light. So long as I remain in the heart of it, nothing and no one can harm me. Now mentally this prayer, I look to Thee for my strength, Lord. Hold me closely in Thy arms of love. Then, whatever happens in my life, I shall accept with joy. We listen to the passage of the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita. Perfection is self-transcendence. Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness within your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. We begin this week with a passage from the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 5. Love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. If ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the tax collectors the same? And if ye salute your brethren only, what do you more than others? Do not even pagans so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. This teaching is a continuation of last week's lesson. To love all equally is possible only by seeing God everywhere, in others as well as in oneself. See whatever comes to you unasked for as a manifestation of His will. Be grateful for the pains you experience, for they are healing strokes of His love. Sometimes healing is effected only by strong measures, but His love for you is manifested in the very attempt to heal. Strive always to be impersonal, as though whatever happens to you were happening to someone else. Persecution gives us the supreme opportunity to deny the thought, this is happening to me, and to affirm our inner freedom from the thought of ego. Don't allow the negative perceptions of others to become your own self-definition. Seek God. This is the true goal of life, though how difficult to cling to it in midst of hatred, spite, and persecution. The Bhagavad Gita tells us in the 7th chapter, out of thousands one strives for spiritual attainment, and out of many blessed true seekers who strive assiduously to reach me, one perhaps perceives me as I am. O truth seeker, be one among all those thousands who seeks the supreme goal. Thus, through holy scriptures, God has spoken to mankind.
So there's 4 words that jump out from this reading this morning.
Sono 4 parole che sono emerse da questa lettura in questa mattinata.
Ego, courage, perfection, and transcendence.
E la trascendenza.
And Yogananda defined ego as the soul's attachment or identification with the body.
E Yogananda definisce l'ego come l'attaccamento o l'identificazione dell'anima con il corpo.
But more than that, it's the identification or the attachment to form.
Ma più di questo ancora è l'identificazione e l'attaccamento alla forma.
And this may sound strange, but form is actually the exact opposite of what the soul is.
E questo potrebbe suonare strano, ma forma non è.
And everybody who seeks to overcome the ego finds themselves at odds or that the world is against them.
Chiunque cerchi di superare l'ego trova che
The world is against them.
il mondo è contro di lui.
Everything in the world is the opposite.
E tutto nel mondo ha un opposto.
Because we emphasize, like Sri Yukteswar said, pride of pedigree.
perché noi ad esempio mettiamo enfasi sull'orgoglio per un pedigree, ad esempio,
status and recognition,
uno status, un riconoscimento,
fame,
la fama,
but it's more than those.
ma è tutto più di questo.
It's also this identification with form.
È proprio questa identificazione con la forma.
So I wanted to read this quote from Master,
Quindi
from
vorrei
Yogananda.
leggere questa frase del maestro Yogananda.
He says, hold your mind radio finely tuned
E lui dice, mantieni la radio della tua mente perfettamente sintonizzata
with the deepest devotion
con profonda devozione
and the grandest and most constant love,
e con un grande e costante amore.
and then suddenly the Lord will burst upon you
E poi istantaneamente il Signore verrà su di te
the song of His cosmic voice,
e sentirai il suono della sua voce cosmica
or the fragrance of a trillion mystic flowers,
o la fragranza di un meraviglioso fiore mistico,
or He may softly dance on your bursting heart.
o egli potrebbe danzare dolcemente all'interno del tuo cuore in fiamme
He'll dance on your every thought.
e essere presente in ogni tuo pensiero
He'll dance on the open altar of your aspiration.
e danzare anche sul tuo altare aperto delle tue più alte aspirazioni.
And then He says, peace will burst into more dazzling lights.
E poi continua, la pace divamperà come una luce della benzina.
Della?
Gasoline? Gasoline light?
Dazzling.
Sì. Ah, Gasling.
Dazzling, like brilliant.
Okay. Dazzling. Ah, ok, sorry. Ok, una luce brillante e scintillante.
Bravo, grazie. And Master says, endless, I know this isn't easy, so grazie. And endless, he says, endless manifestations of joy.
È proprio un'infinita manifestazione di gioia.
But we have to keep in mind, this is not something that has a form.
Però dobbiamo tenere a mente che tutto questo non ha una forma.
This is expanded consciousness.
E questa è una espansione di coscienza.
And that's what happens when the little self merges with spirit.
E questo è quello che accade quando il nostro piccolo sé si unisce allo spirito
We
infinito.
expand our consciousness into spirit.
Espansione di coscienza.
So I wanted to also read this other quote from Master.
Quindi vorrei anche leggere un'altra citazione del maestro.
He says, and many of you have heard me say this, he says, keep going. In your aspiration, in your eternal life, you will keep going in spirit.
Allora, forse me l'avete sentita dire ancora questa frase che dice keep going, continua,
Into eternity.
E continua fino all'eternità.
And spirit will show you
E lo spirito ti mostrerà
endless manifestations of its ever new joy.
infinite manifestazioni di gioia sempre nuova.
And that's what heaven is.
E questo è ciò che è il paradiso.
And that's what we need to break this idea that somehow some astral body will be floating on some cloud and that we'll be enjoying the harps that are played by the angels.
Ed è per questo che dovremo spezzare questa idea che il nostro corpo astrale andrà su una nuvoletta e condividerà dei momenti bellissimi insieme a tutti gli angeli.
We need to understand that in order to break the spell of ego, we need to begin to think of formlessness.
E dobbiamo proprio pensare che per spezzare questo ego dobbiamo iniziare a pensare a qualcosa senza forma.
And if we embark on such a path,
E se, visto che siamo su questo sentiero,
and if we embrace what it takes to break this delusion of ego,
e se abbracciamo quello che è necessario per spezzare questa illusione dell'ego,
we're going to need courage,
ci vorrà molto coraggio,
because everything in the world is against that.
perché tutto in questo mondo va contro a questo.
Swami said it this way: most people find that the influence of mass consciousness is very difficult to resist.
Swami ha detto che l'influenza della coscienza delle masse è difficile da contrastare,
And all of us know that.
e lo sappiamo bene tutti quanti,
All of us have felt that.
tutti l'abbiamo sperimentato, sentito.
We want to be seen in a good light. We want to be seen in a good way by others.
Vogliamo essere visti dagli altri in maniera bella, positiva,
And we want to stand out and say, see me, look at me.
e vorremmo sì alzarci e dire certo, guardatemi.
It's a natural aspect of the ego.
È un aspetto normale di tutti gli ego,
And quite frankly, the only way that we're going to overcome the ego
ma francamente vi posso dire che è l'unico modo per superare l'ego
is to finally become sick and tired of what it offers.
è che alla fine dovremo stancarci e quasi ammalarci di quanto l'ego ci offre invece.
That's why Yogananda said, really, most people are not ready to enter the spiritual path
Ed è per questo che Yogananda dice che tante persone non sono ancora pronte per entrare in un sentiero spirituale
until they feel in their heart what he called an anguishing monotony.
fino a che queste persone non provano nel loro cuore, parole di Yogananda, una monotonia angosciante.
We run after this thing in life and that thing in life, and every time it slaps us and then slaps us.
Nella vita continuiamo a rincorrere questa e quella cosa e continuamente riceviamo schiaffi da questo
And we
fare.
think, okay, I don't want that, but maybe this.
E ci diciamo, ok, forse non voglio più quello, ma questo adesso.
And we continue and we continue.
E continuiamo.
But life is dual.
Ma la vita è duale.
And every time we go up and think, yes, I own this life.
E ogni volta che ci alziamo diciamo finalmente ho questa cosa, ho la mia vita in mano.
If it's not done in the consciousness of transcendence, it always ends up being a thorn.
Se questo non è fatto da una coscienza supercosciente, si rivolta nell'essere una spina come.
Bravo. It is this world is duality.
Questo mondo è proprio un mondo di dualità.
And we have to be ready to say, I'm tired and I want to change.
E dobbiamo prepararci al momento in cui diremo sono stanco, non ce la faccio più, voglio cambiare.
And like Sri Yukteswar says, it's really the funeral of all sorrows when we find God.
E come ha detto Sri Yukteswar, trovare Dio è il funerale di tutte le nostre sofferenze.
But it's a hard lesson to learn.
Però questa è comunque una lezione difficile da imparare.
But all the masters teach, live your life for God.
Però tutti i maestri ce lo dicono, vivete le vostre vite per Dio.
So we need courage.
Quindi abbiamo bisogno di coraggio.
We need courage to say, I don't care, I know what I want, and I know what life offers.
E abbiamo bisogno di coraggio per affermare so cosa voglio della vita perché so cosa la vita mi offre.
So I wanted to share that recently Kirtani and I were at a conference in Findhorn in Scotland.
Quindi vorrei condividere una cosa mia di Kirtani, che siamo tornati da una conferenza a Findorn in Scozia,
and this conference was on climate change and consciousness.
e il tema della conferenza era cambiamento climatico e delle coscienze.
So we saw many indigenous people from Brazil and Africa and Mexico,
Abbiamo
New Zealand,
visto
Australia.
tantissime persone di tutto il mondo, dal Brasile, dal Messico, dall'Amazzonia.
Many of the natives have been, over the years, the victims of colonialism.
Tanti di questi indigeni nativi sono stati lungo gli anni vittime dei cambiamenti che stanno accadendo.
So they've been pushed from their cultures, they've been pushed from their homes.
Stati mandati via dalla loro cultura, dalle loro case,
So we heard a lot of their story during this conference.
e durante questa conferenza abbiamo potuto ascoltare molte delle loro storie.
But we also heard how much climate is changing their land and their homes.
Ma abbiamo anche potuto ascoltare quanto il cambiamento climatico cambi il loro ambiente, le loro case proprio anche.
So when we see a little bit of it in the news, on the news about the effects of climate change.
E noi sì, ascoltiamo dai notiziari un po' di questi effetti del cambiamento climatico.
But when you see many people from all over the world and hear their story, you realize it's much more serious than
Ma
we normally
quando
see.
ascolti così tante storie da persone di tutto il mondo, hai una comprensione più forte, diversa.
And so we here at ANAND have a tendency, from our good training from Swami and from what we've heard from Yogananda,
E quindi qui noi ad Ananda, grazie all'allenamento che abbiamo ricevuto anche da Swami e da Yogananda, abbiamo questa tendenza a
we have a tendency to think, okay, well, we've been taught that this small community or the community is a solution to these kinds of world changes.
perché ci è stato insegnato questo, no? Che le piccole comunità possono essere la soluzione per un cambiamento nel mondo.
In fact, I used an example at the conference with some of the people that during the earthquake here in 97,
Infatti ho usato anche questo esempio durante la conferenza, che diverse persone qui durante il terremoto del 96-97
there were broken houses, and especially Nochera Umbro, it's just about absolutely destroyed during the earthquake.
il terremoto ha causato proprio il crollo di diverse case, abitazioni qui nell'area di Nocera Umbra, eccetera.
But we had a kitchen here that functioned, we have diverse talents, and so the Civil Protezione was very grateful and willing to give us tents and give us the things that we needed.
A noi qui avevamo una cucina funzionante, avevamo diversi talenti e quindi gli uomini della protezione civile sono stati felici di offrirci anche quelle cose di cui avevamo bisogno.
We constructed the tents. They didn't need to be here to help us. They had much more things to do
noi-
in other parts.
Noi abbiamo potuto montare le nostre tende in modo da permettere a loro di svolgere l'enorme lavoro che avevano da fare altrove.
And we've heard from Swami and from Yogananda that the future may not be very bright.
E abbiamo ascoltato da Swami e da Yogananda che forse il futuro non sarà così luminoso.
And so we received this message, we sort of let it roll onto one arm, across our shoulders, and off the other arm.
Quindi
We accept it,
abbiamo accettato questo.
but what happened, I found at this conference, is that there's a lot of fear.
Ma quello che è accaduto e ho sentito durante questa conferenza è che c'è parecchia paura
And some people wept when they were talking.
e diverse persone hanno addirittura pianto durante il loro discorso.
Some people said, look, I have 2 children. I'm fearful for their future. I'm fearful for what is happening to this world.
Tante persone hanno detto io ho 2 figli e ho proprio paura per come sarà il loro futuro, il futuro di questo mondo.
And so, yes, Ananda can maybe, because we are an established community, we can stand for a solution to this change.
E quindi è certo per me che Ananda può rappresentare una soluzione per il cambiamento.
We can maybe represent new kinds of architecture that are in harmony with the environment.
Possiamo ad esempio rappresentare un nuovo tipo di architettura che sia in armonia con la natura e con l'ambiente.
We can show to others what harmony and cooperation can accomplish.
E possiamo mostrare agli altri cosa si può raggiungere attraverso l'armonia e la cooperazione.
But the important point is that perfection will never be found in this world.
Ma il punto rimane che la perfezione non potrà mai essere trovata in questo mondo.
So the title of today's reading was Perfection is found in self-transcendence, or in
E
transcendence.
il titolo della lezione di oggi, la lettura di oggi, è proprio la perfezione si può trovare solo nell'autotrascendenza.
And that's what we can't lose sight of.
È ciò che non dobbiamo mai perdere di vista, questo è quello.
Because if it isn't climate change, it's something else in the world that always makes it a place that isn't perfect.
Perché anche se non avverrà un cambiamento climatico, comunque avverrà un qualcosa che ci renderà evidente che il mondo non è un posto perfetto.
And we may have a difficult time ahead of us,
E potremo avere davanti a noi dei tempi difficili,
but I also wanted to share something that Master said.
però vorrei anche condividere nuovamente qualcosa che ha detto il maestro.
He said, this world exists for only one reason.
Il maestro ha detto questo mondo esiste per un'unica ragione.
But he didn't say just this world, he said the universe exists for only one
E
reason.
non ha detto solo questo mondo, questo pianeta, l'intero universo ha un'unica ragione
And
di
as
essere.
you hear in the Festival of Light after this,
E lo sentirete anche dopo, durante il Festival della Luce.
it literally is created for the evolvement of our individualized self-awareness, the soul.
E è proprio stato creato per l'autorealizzazione delle anime.
That is the purpose of creation.
Questo è il motivo per cui c'è stata la creazione.
And so Yogananda said, don't listen to these people who say, the world's ending, go to the mountain and maybe extraterrestrial will pick us up.
E quindi Yogananda ce lo dice, non date retta a quelle voci, a quelle persone che dicono il mondo sta finendo, ritiratevi nelle montagne e vi porterà via un UFO.
Yogananda said this, he said, look at mankind.
Yogananda dice guardate all'umanità,
We have a lot more growth to do.
abbiamo molte più cose da fare
And this world, and we're not finished with this world.
e non abbiamo ancora finito su questo mondo.
He did say throughout history there have been these periods of partial disillusionment, some major changes in the world.
E lui l'ha detto che durante la storia il mondo passerà attraverso momenti di dissoluzione e rinascita.
But every master teaches that if you're in tune with God, you also are protected.
Ma ogni maestro lo dice, se tu sei in sintonia con Dio, lì hai la massima protezione.
But we also have to remember this world is a dream.
E dobbiamo comunque sempre ricordare che questo mondo è un sogno.
And every one of us wakes up when we leave this world.
E ognuno di noi si risveglierà quando dovremo lasciare questo mondo.
And furthermore, Yogananda said, and if you really attune to God,
E Yogananda aggiunge, se tu sei veramente in sintonia con Dio,
if you open yourself to the kind of experience that he already described here,
e se tu ti apri a quell'esperienza che Yogananda poi ha descritto,
then you know when and how you're going to leave this life.
allora saprai come e dove vivrai questa vita.
I was shocked when I read this,
E per me è stato uno shock quando ho letto questo.
but Yogananda said, I refuse to be yanked out of this body against my will.
E Yogananda ha detto, io ho visto me stesso essere scacciato da questo corpo contro la mia volontà, rifiuto questo corpo, rifiuto di essere scacciato da questo corpo contro la mia volontà.
He said, I know when I will die, I know how I will die, I know exactly the circumstance I'll be in when I go.
Yogananda ha detto: io so perfettamente quando morirò, dove morirò e le circostanze nel quali lascerò il corpo.
And he said, so can you.
E ha detto: e così potete anche voi.
He said, realize God is your friend. You were not put here for God to torture you.
Ricordatevelo, Dio è il vostro amico, non vi ha messo qui per torturarvi.
And it's funny to us, but there's a lot of people in this world that think that way.
È divertente per noi vedere come tante persone nel mondo invece lo pensano
They
questo.
fear that they have to supplicate God and that God is waiting just to zap them.
Hanno paura di questo Dio e lo implorano nel timore che gli arrivi una sberla.
So when Jesus says, be perfect as your Father in heaven is,
Quindi quando Gesù ha detto sii tu perfetto quanto lo è mio Padre che è nei cieli,
perfection is found in self-transcendence.
la perfezione si può trovare solo nella autotrascendenza.
And so I wanted to talk about this sense of I for a moment,
Quindi per un attimo vorrei parlare del senso dell'io,
because this ego is a little bit like an onion.
perché questo ego è un po' come una cipolla.
Right now we can all reflect and say, I am.
Adesso noi possiamo riflettere e dire io sono, no?
But what am I?
Ma in verità cosa sono?
Most of us would say, well, I'm Anand, I'm this man, I wear this body.
Tanti di noi direbbero io sono Anand, vivo in questo corpo, ho questo vestito,
I need food,
ho bisogno di cibo,
I need air,
ho bisogno di aria,
I like pizza,
mi piace la pizza,
everybody likes sex, everybody likes pleasure.
tutti amano il sesso e il piacere.
Then we become identified.
E poi ci identifichiamo con questo.
But that isn't what the I am is.
Ma questo non è ciò che veramente sei, che è il io sono.
And the I am is also not our thoughts.
Io sono non è nemmeno essere i propri pensieri.
This is really, again, something that we might not realize the importance.
Questo di nuovo è una cosa per la quale non abbiamo ancora compreso l'importanza.
Science, psychology, nobody knows where the thought originates.
La scienza e la psicologia non hanno ancora scoperto l'origine del pensiero,
But the masters have answered it.
ma i maestri invece ci hanno dato la risposta.
Even the thoughts are not our own.
Anche i pensieri non fanno parte di noi.
Thoughts are universally rooted.
I pensieri sono radicati nell'universo.
We can take those thoughts and we can manipulate them into our way of thinking, our way of being.
Li possiamo solo prendere e manipolarli a secondo del nostro modo di essere e di vedere le cose.
In fact, Yogananda said the purpose of the yoga science is to calm the mind.
Infatti Yogananda ci ricorda che il motivo della scienza dello yoga è calmare la mente
So that it's undistorted,
in modo che sia non disturbata del tutto,
and then we can view the vision of cosmic consciousness.
e allora solo potremo avere la visione della coscienza cosmica.
That says a lot,
E questo ci racconta molto,
because the vision of cosmic consciousness or spirit is that spirit manifests this creation on the screen of space.
perché questa coscienza, questo spirito ci può mostrare lo schermo dello spazio dove tutto viene proiettato.
In the very same way that you and I do it in a dream or a visualization,
Nello stesso modo in cui noi possiamo sognare, fare un sogno o fare una visualizzazione.
I can visualize a horse or I can manifest or live a dream.
Io posso visualizzare un cavallo o posso vivere e sperimentare un sogno,
but we don't say, I am the dream, we say, I had a dream.
ma noi non diciamo io sono un sogno, diciamo io ho avuto un sogno.
And we don't say, I am this thought, we say, I had this thought.
E non diciamo nemmeno io sono questo pensiero, ma io ho avuto questo pensiero.
And so, in order to merge in spirit, we need to calm completely the oscillations of the mind.
E quindi per immergerci nella coscienza cosmica dobbiamo completamente calmare la mente, le oscillazioni della mente.
It's a much greater subject than we can actually do justice to in a Sunday service.
E questo è un soggetto così vasto che non si può toccare unicamente durante una cerimonia domenicale.
But it's important to understand, Yogananda says, the self exists whether the universe does or does not exist.
Ma è importante ricordare quello che Yogananda ha detto, che il sé esiste indipendentemente dal fatto che la creazione sia o no manifesta.
You were never born and you will never die.
Tu non sei mai nato e tu non morirai mai.
And just like when we dream,
Ed è esattamente come quando sognate.
we think it's so real.
Pensiamo che sia così reale.
Swami tells the story once where he was lucid in his dream.
Una volta Swami ci racconta di quando si era perso in un suo sogno.
So
Aveva avuto un sogno lucido
and so he knew he was dreaming. So he was trying to convince himself in the dream as to whether it was real or not real.
e sapeva che stava sognando e cercava di comprendere se questo suo sogno era reale o non reale.
It was full of life and color and excitement
E questo sogno era pieno di luci, colori, eccitazione.
and at the moment that he convinced himself in the dream that it was real,
E c'è stato un momento del sogno in cui lui si è convinto che fosse reale
he woke up.
e si è svegliato.
And he laughed and laughed. He was so sure it was real.
E ha riso tanto perché era così convinto che fosse una cosa vera.
It's the same as this life.
Ed è la stessa cosa con questa vita.
The self has a veil,
Il sé ha un velo,
so we don't remember where we've come from and we don't know where we're going.
quindi non ci ricordiamo da dove siamo venuti e dove stiamo andando,
But God didn't put us here to torture us.
ma di nuovo Dio non ci ha messo qui per torturarci.
So it means there is a way to know what is behind this life.
Questo significa che c'è un modo per scoprire cosa c'è dietro questa vita.
And that's the scope of our spiritual path.
E questo è lo scopo di ogni sentiero spirituale.
And we have the keys to this.
E noi abbiamo le chiavi per fare ciò.
And if we wanted to really keep it simple,
E vogliamo mantenere il tutto molto semplice.
the truth is it's only about calming the mind.
La verità rimane che tutto questo processo è solo nel calmare la mente.
But the truth is also that until we learn to direct the energy of the nervous system and return that energy back to the brain, we won't succeed in completely calming the mind.
E un'altra verità è che se noi non riusciamo a richiamare tutte le energie interiormente e mandarle su in alto, appunto fra le sopracciglia, non calmeremo mai la mente.
But don't be discouraged,
Però non scoraggiatevi,
because the masters say when the mind is deeply calm, the inner light spontaneously appears.
e ricordatevi che il maestro ha detto: quando la mente è profondamente calma, la luce interiore apparirà spontaneamente.
And this happens as a process, as a direction in our spiritual lives.
E questo accadrà nella nostra vita spirituale, siamo in un cammino, in un processo.
We become more and more calm.
Diventeremo sempre più calmi.
Our concentration is like a muscle. The more we practice it, the more we gain control.
E la concentrazione è come un muscolo, più la pratichiamo, più saremo in controllo.
So it's not a thing that Yogananda says lightly when he teaches, have regular practice of meditation.
Quindi
non è una cosa leggera.
non è una cosa leggera quando Yogananda ci invita a avere una routine, una pratica quotidiana e stabile.
It's very important to practice every day.
È molto importante praticare tutti i giorni.
I remember years ago I would think, I just wasted an hour.
Mi ricordo che anni fa ho avuto questo pensiero, ma ho già sprecato tante ore.
My mind would just spin and spin.
E la mia mente continuava a pensare, girare.
And sometimes, oddly enough, the moment I gained focus, the harmonium would sound and it was time to end the meditation.
E poi pensavo a quell'istante in cui ero perfettamente focalizzato e lì suonava l'armonium, la meditazione finiva.
But it improves. And if we're consistent, it improves.
Però il miglioramento viene proprio dalla costanza, dalla pratica.
So don't be discouraged, rather be enthusiastic.
Quindi non siate mai scoraggiati, piuttosto siate entusiasti.
Even the knowledge that we know that we're not a mortal being, but that we're eternal, that in itself gives joy.
Anche la conoscenza, il sapere che noi non siamo esseri mortali, ma siamo infiniti, questo ci può aiutare.
But then, to gain that realization,
Ma poi un'altra cosa è proprio raggiungere questa
and
realizzazione.
then when we begin to merge with Spirit, the manifestation of light and joy and bliss,
Allora lì cominceremo a immergerci nello spirito e a vivere le manifestazioni dello spirito, come la gioia, la beatitudine.
and then we don't care what happens in this
E
life.
poi non ci deve più interessare nell'altro,
We know we're in God's hands.
perché sapremo e sappiamo che siamo nelle mani di Dio.
So, do we still have a minute to do that, you think? We'd like to just read one last poem from Master. She'll do it in English then?
So for those of you who were getting the English translation before he began speaking in English, you need those again. Okay. So io leggo in italiano. Questo è un messaggio
This is a
del
message
maestro
from Master.
molto forte
It is very
e molto
powerful
incoraggiante.
and encouraging
Chi è sul sentiero da tanto
for
tempo
people that
l'avete
are in the
letto e
path for many
sentito.
years. You have for sure heard it.
Non devi mai
You must
perdere
never
il
lose
coraggio.
courage.
La Divina
Divine
Madre
Mother
mi ha
sent me
mandato a
to
guidarti
pilot
fuori
you
dalle
out of the
nuvole
clouds of your
della tua
mind.
mente. La difficoltà di
Everybody's
ognuno
difficulty
è
is
diversa
different,
e
and
lui o
he
lei
or
deve
she has
vincere la
to win that test of karma and Divine Mother. Overcome all by constant inward calling on God and utmost devotion in words, thoughts, actions, and obedience to Guru. Your troubles I do not mind. I will never give up my job about you. It is better to conquer evil and not go on living with it forever. Never for a moment identify yourself with momentary flashes of error. Have no fear, even when I am gone and no longer visible to your eyes. You will never be alone. I may not scold you then, but I shall ever be with you, and through Divine Mother, guard you from all harm, and will constantly whisper to you guidance through your loving self. So do not make life discouraged and tired, but be ever interested in doing for Divine Mother. No matter if wars, sickness, and death dance around you, that is the secret of victory over delusion and all troubles. Be cut to pieces, but never give up. Be a divine leech, suck at the blood of wisdom, even though torn it to bits. A smooth life is not a victorious one, and I will give you lots of good karma, so you will get through. I will not only ever forgive you, but ever lift you up, no matter how many times you fall. Keep unceasingly trying to conquer, that not only I visibly help you, but visibly through many here. Divine Mother will help you to win through your own efforts and the blessings of the great gurus. I am not building a mansion for you or giving you riches that will perish, but I am making an imperishable home with all riches for you in my Divine Mother's mansion. Unceasing blessings, Paramahansa Yogananda. This is the moment when you can give an offering that serves to take out these teachings in Italy and in Europe and in the world. So take whatever you feel like giving from your heart and pray with me. Divine Mother, we offer you the fruits of our work. May this serve to bring your message of self-realization to all the souls that are searching.
amici che non capiscono l'inglese, vorrei dirvi la traduzione di queste parole che abbiamo appena cantato.
I want to give you the translation of these words in
Dico senza
Italian
paura.
that they just
Anche
sung.
se il verde dell'estate va via e l'inverno approccia, Signore, nella tua presenza io vivo senza paura. Attraverso le tempeste, la neve, la turbolenza della vita, il tocco della tua mano è la mia forza e la mia guida. Non chiedo le ricchezze che la morte può distruggere, voglio solo te, tuo amore, la tua gioia. Le danzanti della vita passano e il cantare deve finire, ma io abbraccio, accolgo anche il buio con te come mio amico. Coraggio. Offriamo i nostri
Let
cuori.
us lift up our hearts in a festival night of light. The essence of the ceremony has been passed down from ancient times. O waves, that we are on the bosom of the infinite sea, joyfully together let us celebrate our own greater reality. For now, by God's grace, our redemption is at hand. The divine light returning anew to earth has given us power, as the Holy Bible proclaims, to become the sons of God. Into our hands have been delivered the sacred keys of awakening. Abundant now is our hope. The Lord, through the Bhagavad Gita, promised even the worst of sinners, by steadfast meditation on me, speedily comes to me. Again in that holy scripture he declared, even a little practice of this inward religion will free one from dire fears and colossal sufferings. And whereas suffering and sorrow in the past were the coin of man's redemption, for us now the payment has been exchanged for calm acceptance and joy. Thus may we understand that pain is the fruit of self-love, whereas joy is the fruit of love for God. From sun and moon and all the stars, from glistening seas, high mountains, desert solitudes, and vast fruitful plains, and from the hearts of mankind and of creatures everywhere, goes up in wordless yearning a prayer for redemption. Please stand and repeat after me. Almighty source of all that is, from sorrow lead us to everlasting joy. From darkness lead us to infinite light. From death lead us to immortality. Almighty source of all that is, from sorrow lead us to everlasting joy. From darkness lead us to infinite light. From death lead us to immortality. Peace. A fledgling bird once flew out into the world, gained strength and wisdom, its parents told it, and what you acquire, share with others, even as we have shared with you. For you are a part of all that is. Thus, Lord, we left you countless eons ago. Ours was a holy mission. You charged us to learn great lessons from life, to be fruitful in the gifts you had given us, to expand and multiply them. Alas, we abandoned our mission. Instead, we hoarded selfishly. Nor did wisdom come to us when repeatedly we lost everything we had. For the young bird in flight for the first time gloried in its new-found strength. It began to think how foolish I would be to share my strength with anyone. What else is wisdom if not to keep what is mine for myself? And so we, like that bird, entered upon the second stage of the soul's long journey. Away from home, in God, a stage called the revolt. That bird's brief day was like eons of our time. When afternoon came, it entered in a storm cloud and soon found itself struggling for its life. Wind and rain lashed at its wings. The more he fought back, the weaker it became. "Give yourself into my hands," cried the wind. "To your strength I can then add my own." At last the little bird heeded this counsel. Then suddenly it found itself soaring joyously high above the clouds. Hours passed and night fell. The little bird grew afraid. "How," it cried, "can I fly in this darkness?" And the night whispered, "Fear not, for peace awaits you in the unknown. Surrender to me and your strength will be renewed." And after a time, the tiny rebel surrendered and found the night's counsel to be true. And rain and sky and grassy fields all sang, "Behold, your very strength to fly has never been your own. Look to the source of all power if you would conquer fear and weakness." And the bird asked, "Where can I find that source?" And they answered, "Seek it in the furthest depths of being, in your own self." Thus gradually the bird entered that third stage of the journey, which is called the quest. We now, like that little bird, have come to realize that buffeting winds are life's way of giving us strength and courage, that even fear, like shadows on a statue, gives light and substance to hope. From the depths of unknowing, Lord, we cried out to Thee. Is there no lasting purpose to our lives? Behold, all that we thought was light was but darkness. Who are we in reality? For what end were we made? Ever and again, through your awakened sons, the answers come. The forming of stars and moons and planets, of galaxies revolving on the tides of space, of drifting continents, upheaving mountains, snowy wastes and dark, silent ocean deeps, had but this for its design, the birth of life. And with life's birth, the dawn of self-awareness, passage through dim corridors of waking consciousness, to emerge at last into infinite light, into perfect joy. O children of light, forsake the darkness, please stand. Know that forever you and He are one. Raise your hands and chanting Om, ask that the power of God replenish you in body, mind, and soul. Such, O Lord, was your promise. Gaze upon this light as a symbol of God's love. A prayer of love went up from earth, and you responded. A ray of your light flashed out from the heart of infinity, burst downward through the night skies of consciousness, and was born on earth for the redemption of mankind in human form. Many times has that light descended, drawn to earth by the call of aspiring love. Your chosen people have always been those of every race and nation who, with deep love, chose thee. Please pray with me. O Lord, with all my heart, with all my mind, with all my soul, and with all my strength, I choose thy love. I choose only thee. O Lord, with all my heart, with all my mind, with all my soul, all my soul, all my strength, I choose thy love. I choose only thee. The infinite Christ consciousness, the only begotten, has come down anew to earth for the salvation of mankind. When we need you, Lord, our beloved, you descend. Our human griefs your love alone can mend. By proud indifference unaffected, though eternally rejected, you remain our friend for always. Now we sing. Filled with divine love, Jesus appeared to the great Master Babaji. The lights on the high altar of my church, he said, have been growing dim, though still lit on lower altars of good works. The noble taper of inner communion with the Lord burns low and is ill-attended. Let us together unite in Christ's love. Set lights ablaze on that high altar once again. Thus a new ray of light was sent to earth through the great masters of this path. Greater can no love be than this, from a life of infinite joy and freedom in God, willingly to embrace limitation, pain, and death for the salvation of mankind. Such ever has been the sacrifice of great masters for the world. Here then, the fourth and last stage, the soul's long journey through time and space of the redemption. Lord, we offer up the little light that is in us, into thy blazing in light of infinity. Grant us the grace to know thee. Make us ever increasingly pure channels of thy love to all. Please stand and let's sing Thy Light Within Us Shining. Celebrate the grace of God that has come anew to earth through our line of gurus, Jesus Christ, Babaji, Lahiri Mahashaya, Sri Yukteswar, and Paramahansa Yogananda. This grace is eternally channeled to mankind by great masters in every religion. It has been given new clothing by our gurus to reflect man's dawning awareness that matter is only a manifestation of divine energy. In God, all are equal, not only Jesus Christ, Lord Krishna, great saints everywhere, but even, in essence, those on earth who have sinned most greatly. Joyfully lifting up our hearts in song, we pray that we who earnestly seek communion with your light receive it in our lives abundantly. We invite those who feel inclined to come up to the altar and receive the touch of light from the Masters. As you approach, offer a prayer of gratitude to the infinite Christ, in whose love our line of Masters have descended, that we might all come to God. Pray too for the grace to share with all as you have received, for you are a part of all that is. May the light of Christ, the infinite consciousness, shine upon you.
Peace.
with this light expansion inside of us. Let's stand up and with our open arms, let's send to the whole world the blessings we have received. Now we sing our last chant.
Canta, canta con noi, canta con amore. Canta, canta con noi, canta al Signore. Canta, canta con noi, canta con amore. Canta, canta con noi, canta al Signore. Cantano i prati e cantano i fiumi, cantano i cieli che Dio è l'amore. Cantano i prati e cantano i fiumi, cantano i cieli che Dio è l'amore. Sing and sing out with joy, as thy rest is ended. Sing and sing out with joy, all thy rest is ended. Sing and sing out with joy, as thy rest is ended. Sing and sing out with joy, all thy rest is ended. Light to every mountain, light to every valley, light from all the masters we live in the Lord. Light from every mountain, light to every valley, light from all the masters we live in the Lord. Light from every mountain, light to every valley, light from all the masters we live in the Lord.
Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great masters, from today onward, we will try to live with more awareness of who we are, with more courage, so we may become always more perfected and our highest self. We open as channels of your light, love and joy for all. Om Shanti. Amen. Go on with joy.